Welcome to Blue Monday. After a weekend where Everton just about squeaked the result against a pretty bad Fulham team, but it's another win. It ends a 3-game defeat run or something. And the third game in the row in the capital, which we haven't done since 1987. Matt, now the dust settled on that, what are your thoughts on the game?
Do you know what? I think Adam Sutton summed it up so well yesterday after the game, and it's borne out to be true that it's going to be one of those wins that you feel better and better about as the day goes on and as the week goes on. Because I think it was a really weird post-match yesterday because I was happy and I was thinking I've got the rest of my Sunday here. I can watch the other games. There's Red Zone on the telly. Can have a nice tea, and Everton have won already, and it's sorted. So I was quite happy, but I think that the rest of the lads were quite glum initially, and I just think it was that second half, wasn't it? You know, and I think it was more disappointing. You know, if we'd played that poorly all game and won, I think it's one of them where you sort of like, yes, you know, we managed to get dead lucky there, but it was just the fact that we played so well in the first half. It's like, this is what this team's capable of doing. And I said to Dave this morning, I think in that first half, I think certainly the attacking players, it was like all of them were the best version of themselves.
Yeah, definitely.
You know, like Rodriguez was picking the ball up on the edge of the box, spraying intricate passes around. Don was right place at the right time, and Richarlison was driving forward. And when you see that, you think this is really functioning well. And for it to all sort of unravel in the second half a little bit was horrible, wasn't it? But I think that the anger and the frustration was more due to the fact that we played so well in the first half, and then the second half, everyone was sort of like, well, where did that go?
Yeah, I think there's no really bad way to win a game, but if you're going to pick a bad way to win a game, it's to be leathering a team in the first half, going with a 2-goal cushion, and then be clinging on for the entire second half. It felt like so. It's sort of like because we were so in control, as you say, it was like, well, let's do this to them again in the second half, and we just never. The warning signs were there, obviously, with their first goal. I think there was a bit of a mix-up with Decore and Mina. They both sort of lost the runner. I also think Pickford was a bit slow off his line, which could have a lot to do with the stick he's taken over Van Dijk, because that's always going to be in his mind now. He kind of to the edge of the 6-yard box and then stopped himself where normally he may have come out and got a better block on that. So I think that's something to bear in mind. Well, that that could be affecting him to the point where he's not making the saves he might normally have saved. But yeah, the first half, as you say, we were brilliant. But then just going to the negatives and then we'll go to the positives to end it a bit nicer. Do you think that came from the manager in the second half? Because the two performances were completely different. And instead of really like going for it in the second half and trying to stick 4-5 past them like we did against West Brom, to be honest, and we did to a degree against Brighton, although I think we took our foot off a bit in that game. Do you reckon he went out and said, right, just keep what we've got here, or?
Do you know what? I think not initially, no. I don't think at our time the message would have been go out and sit deep. I think it would have been keep doing what you're doing. But that doesn't always happen, does it? Sometimes it just doesn't work. You know, the opposition react to how you're playing as well. You know, Scott Parker's not going to go in and say, do the same thing you were doing there, lads. Just let Everton play around. You know, they're going to try something different. They tried to disrupt us a little bit. Whatever they did clearly worked. But I think for me, probably when they have that penalty miss and then they score, I think that's when he thinks enough's enough now, Carlo Ancelotti. You know, I'm just gonna kill this game dead.
Yeah.
And in fairness, you know, he did that, didn't he? I think there was that mad minute after they scored their second where it was bouncing around our box for a bit, and you're thinking, oh no, we're going to completely capitulate here. But after that, really, although we didn't play well, we didn't look like conceding. And I've said this on the show this morning with Dave on Blue and Breakfast, and I think I said it yesterday as well. I think this is just something we're going to have to live with when it comes to Carlo. I think I think that in any away game, if we're 1 goal ahead and we're not playing free flow and stuff, then he's going to be prepared with 20 minutes, 25 minutes, half an hour sometimes to go to say, yeah, we'll sit on this now and take it.
Yeah.
And that's just the nature of the fella and how he's going to go about it. I don't know if that's always been the way he's done things. I'm not seeing, enough of his teams in other clubs, and maybe a lot of other clubs he's not necessarily even in that sort of position because he's had just much better players. But
yeah,
I just think that's how he's going to go about it, and it's going to be horrible at times. But by and large, when he's done it, it's worked, hasn't it?
It has, to be honest. Yeah, it's just not good for us, is it? I think because we've been weaned on such a diet have thrown those games completely. I mean, I was convinced that was ending 3-3 at best, to be honest.
Oh, yeah.
After that second half, I thought there's no way they don't get a point out of this at least.
You're saying take a draw or 3-2?
I know, well, we kind of get into that point, wasn't it? I mean, we said it was must win, and to be fair, they won. And as you say, sort of as Adam said, you can sort of like look back now and think, you know what, we got to win. That was the main thing. We're 4 points off the top, is it? Something like that, which we all would have taken at this point.
Yeah.
Just to go back to the point about killing the game off, the worry for me is that we don't really have the players to do that, because although Fulham never really made that many chances in the second half, we never looked in control of that game at all. So even though we were keeping them at bay to a degree, I think that was more down to them than us, because some of the passes we were hitting straight, we couldn't get out of our half for parts of that second half. And I think if you're going to shut a game down like that, you need to be in control. The way we were at the end of the first half, basically, when we were just knocking it round, and then if a chance opened up, we'd have a go, but we were quite happy to keep the ball. We weren't really doing that. We were hacking it clear, and there seemed to be a lot of panic.
Yeah, we didn't have an outlet, did we? Really? No. I think Richarlison was getting tired. James was out of the game second half completely, and then when you take them two off, it's like, well, Gylfi Sigurdsson's not going to. Well, I'm not even going to speak about him today. Tom Davies did well, to be fair, but he's not going to run into the channels, is he? Win free kicks. I was saying yesterday, I think like someone like Walcott would have been ideal, I think, for that sort of game. Just get up and down the line. You can knock it into the corner for him to sprint onto, and you might buy something, but he just gives you that. It's like a valve, isn't it, from all the pressure? Just gives you like that breath, and Dom did it pretty well at times, but yeah, I think you're right. We haven't really got the players to sit in and counter attack. Really, I think we need to be on the front foot to be at our best. But I think it's a product of having only seen Paddy's piece before, The Athletic, saying that they only had 2 days to prepare for this game, and as a result, not only did they have players coming back from international duty and didn't have much time to play for it, they played in an entirely new system as well. So there's always going to be little things that happen and little chinks in the armour from that sense. But you're right, there's no excuse for some of the passing that we played in that second half, and just unable to get our best attacking players on the ball. And yeah, it was just like the game sort of just went into a bit of a stalemate, didn't it, in the last 20 minutes, where they had the ball but weren't good enough to do anything with it, really. And then when we got it, we weren't good enough to create it. So it was just sort of played in this mad midfield purgatory, wasn't it, for 20 minutes?
It was horrible. It was absolutely horrible, that second half, especially the last bit. Just to pick up on that there about the players only having 2 days to prepare for it because of the internationals. Just quickly talk about what Klopp was saying about the TV scheduling. Now, I don't think that's the issue so much. I think the issue is that we're playing so many international games and international friendlies. These players, they're playing a truncated season as it is. They've had no pre-season. If they'd jib the internationals, at least for a bit, or put them somewhere later in the season, we've had 2 weeks rest now, 2 full weeks of rest where those internationals were. And I think that's a big problem. I think when you've got players travelling all the way around the world, you increase COVID risk because they're going to players from different countries, different bubbles or whatever. It just seems ridiculous, doesn't it? And then to come back and have 2 days preparation for the game, and then you're back into it next week. It's too much football.
I just feel like this has been the case. I've seen you were having a chat with Carver on Twitter about today, weren't you? You've seen some of that, but it just feels as though everyone just needs to be a bit more like every governing body in football. FIFA, UEFA, the Premier League, the FA, whatever, needs to just be more open and helping each other out. It seems as though you'd imagine that none of them have got any each other's phone numbers in the phone, because it's like it just seems to be like we're going to do what's best for us. And everyone else is going to have to deal with it. And I think, I sort of got where he was coming from. I can understand why he was pissed off, albeit, their situation in the squad they've got, it's not going to affect them as much as a lot of other teams, even some of the sides in Europe. But it just feels like more communication's needed on this to help it. And like you said, it's a unique season. There's different circumstances, and that in turn will affect the contracts that have been drawn up. But just have the FA have a chat with UEFA, the Premier League have a chat with FIFA or something like that, and try and sort something out.
Yeah, it trickles down. Don't FIFA want their competition because they see that as the most important thing. Then UEFA see their competition, so you're still getting Champions League and Europa games, which is a bit daft in itself as well, travelling to other countries when no one else can. And then that trickles down to the Premier League and then the Football League. And it's like, yeah, none of them are talking because they're all like, well, our competition's important, so this is what we're doing.
Yeah,
and
but you
better into the players and people watching the game as well.
Yeah, and there is obviously a sense of, because they've had a bit of an injury, a few injuries, that all of a sudden it becomes a big story. You know, Leicester, when they played yesterday, have had their entire back four out and the best old midfielder out for weeks and weeks, and nothing's really been made of this. And it's only when it starts, you know, it was the same case with the Pickford thing, wasn't it? It's only when it starts happening to one of the elite sides that it becomes a major story and everyone's got to have a say on it. But, you know, this sort of thing's been going on for years. Schedules have been horrendous for years for players and fans.
That's it, yeah.
But now it's being dragged under the limelight, obviously. Hopefully something positive can come out of it. You know, we can get better scheduling and results that lead better football. And obviously with fans especially coming back into stadiums soon, better kick-off times for fans that aren't ridiculous. But it's certainly not a new issue, is it, by any means?
No. I honestly think it could go the other way, though, now, and we will get 7:15 Sunday night games on the regular, sort of 8 Friday night, Saturday night games. I think the box has been opened on that one a bit now.
Well, I suppose that the thing is, people are going to have to play matches at some point. And if you want to fit games in at times which suit everybody, then people might have to play at mad times sometimes, because it's like, well, this team doesn't want to play at this time because they've got a game on day X, and this team doesn't want to play on that day because they've got a game on day X. So I'll just sort it. Oh, yeah, we'll do it at 8 o'clock on a Sunday or 10 in the morning on Saturday or something like that.
That's fine when there's no one going the game. That's all right, because I quite like the way you have like 5 games on the Sunday and you can watch it all day.
Yeah.
Just when people are going the game, I will not want to be wanting to go a game on 7:15 on a Sunday night.
Do you want got some comments?
Yeah, go ahead.
Steve Richardson, double celebrate 62 yesterday. Good wins hanging on at the end. Impressed with a road beat down the right hand side. Happy birthday, mate. 62. Still watching the Toffees. Neil H has said, hello, lads. That second half was dreadful, but going into the game for me, it was all about getting the 3 points. A good performance would have been a bonus. That's fair enough, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely.
And player one has said, just scrap the pointless international friendlies. Simple as that. Yeah.
That takes an extra game off at least, doesn't it? On the positive,
no disagreements whatsoever.
Onto the positives of the game then.
Yes.
We played in that first half was unreal, wasn't it? The two goals. I mean, even the first goal as well. You know, Richarlison back 54 seconds in and he sets a goal up.
Yeah.
Basically, tenacity and his ability to get straight into the box.
Yeah, that is, again, the sort of goal that if one of the, if a pressing team scores that, then everyone's going, oh, look at how high up they are and how hungry they are to win the ball there. But obviously, because it was sort of like, oh, well, Fulham really made a massive error there and gave Everton the ball back. But no, it's what you'd expect from Richarlison, isn't it? Setting the tempo straight away, getting into the box. Great start. But yeah, I think that the second and third goal are just going to be what an Everton goal looks like for large parts of the season when we're playing well. I think it's going to be James finding space in central areas, Luka Dean raiding down the left-hand side and putting good balls into the box for Calvert-Lewin, Richarlison or Decore to get on the end of. I've been saying for weeks, I've been picking him to score for weeks, haven't I, as well? Yeah. And last time I didn't do it.
I know, I forgot to ask on Sunday, didn't I?
Yeah. I would have said them.
Predictions?
I would have said them, honestly. But no, it's nice to have that. I think it's good to know that you've got a way home in matches, isn't it? There are certain things you can do with the ball and players that can put passes together that it's hard for other teams to stop. And, Rodriguez didn't have his best game yesterday, but Everton's best spell in the entire football match were the 20 minutes where he got on the ball and started dictating things. And I don't know if he's not fully fit or not playing well, but if he can get back to those levels earlier in the campaign where he was playing well for 45 minutes, 60 minutes of a football match, then we're going to score a lot of goals this season because he just makes everything around him tick. Yeah. And Iwobi as well, to be fair, mate, just getting up and down that right-hand side, driving into the box, just doing simple things really well. Getting the ball at your feet, put crosses into the box because we've got some great headers of the ball in the area and he looked really good doing it.
Do you reckon that could be a long-term thing for him?
I'm hesitant to say yes, to be honest. But
it seems like it was a sort of needs-must thing, doesn't it?
Do you know what, though, mate? We fall into this trap all the time, don't we, with these players?
Yeah.
I remember against Norwich after lockdown, he had a great game, and we were all like, "Is this it for Iwobi?" And then I think the next match he played, he got dragged off at half time because he stunk the gaff out. And we've done it with Sigurdsson, we've done it with Delph, we've done it with Bernard, we've done it with Yerry Mina at times as well. And ultimately, they revert to the norm, which for them is just inconsistency. So if he's going to play there, he needs to be given 5 games, and he needs to play well for 5 games in that position because, it's. I think Iwobi's the one I feel a bit sorry for because he's just been, hauled around the team, hasn't he? He's played in so many different positions in his short Everton career and not often in the position you'd say he's best. So if he's going to be, Seamus Coleman's going to be out for a few weeks, why not give him a chance? But we have, regardless if he plays right wing back, maybe we need to reconfigure those centre halves because they weren't great. And I know we're moving on from the negatives.
Yeah,
but Iwobi was class, yeah.
Yeah, it's a fair shout though because we can't keep conceding 2 goals a game. We're genuinely not going to get anywhere doing that. There's only so many times you cannot score a side, so that definitely needs addressing. And I think if Iwobi is going to be there again, it's going to have to be 3 at the back because I can't see him playing like an out-and-out right back, to be honest.
No, I think that will be pushed in a bit too much.
Yeah.
But
we'll move on to the DCL fan club because you're getting your money's worth out of this season, mate.
Tell you what, I wish I had started actual funding.
Yeah, he's been outstanding, hasn't he?
It's not
the first goal was like he was just in the right place at the right time. Nothing more, nothing less than that. And off his shin, it was just like that's what we wanted from him, wasn't it? And he's added that to his game. I think you said he's obviously worked hard on every aspect of his game now because into those positions and scoring those scrappy, horrible goals.
Yeah, it's almost like we're taking it for granted now, aren't we?
Yeah.
And I think the thing about it for me now is that he's making it look really easy to get in those positions. And, I don't know if that's just he's got more confidence in the service and stuff like that, but every game he seems to just be in that area to just convert a cross or convert a header. To convert with his head even, or just pick up the scraps. And it is so encouraging. And the encouraging thing for me in that is not just that he's making it look easy, but it sort of gives me more belief that this isn't just it's not really a purple patch now. He's been doing this for nearly a year. But it makes me think that this lad's going to just keep scoring goals now, even if he's not playing well and he misses a few chances, because he's constantly getting into those positions. And, some of the best strikers in the world miss loads of chances, but they score loads of goals because they keep getting themselves in that area. I think of Cavani when he was at his best at PSG, and that lad used to miss about 3 or 4 clear-cut chances every game. But he'd continue getting into those areas, continue getting his head on things and shooting and working his bollocks off. And he'd finish the game with a goal pretty much every week when he was at his best. And that's sort of where Dom is now. But he's obviously the service isn't quite as good as what Cavani would have had at PSG regularly. But he's getting in those positions, and that second one's not an easy finish.
No, not at all.
It's properly fizzed in at him. He's got to divert his foot. He's got to hold off the defender. It's a really good finish. And I've said this on both the shows we've done since, but I just loved that he converted that offside one as well with his left foot.
Yeah, that was a lovely goal, that wasn't it?
Because even that would give him confidence, wouldn't it? It would have been like, well, I was offside there, but that wasn't an easy finish. But I've just tucked that away in the corner with my weaker foot.
I always think about goals like that. So, when like a player gets flagged offside and they do like a little chip back towards the goal, like sort of half lost. I always think they should finish that because the optics are that it's gone in and you finished it. So you automatically, at least psychologically, get a little one up on the keeper or whatever. So yeah, I was made up he finished that as well. He's the fastest player to get to 10 goals this season. He's the only one in Europe's top 5 leagues to get to 10 goals without penalties.
Yeah.
And the players he's sort of on a par with now, players to get to 10 goals in 10 games or something in the Premier League, the likes of Aguero and Kane. So he's properly up there, isn't he? He's and there's no reason to think he can't keep this up. It does remind me, and I know we can get ahead of ourselves in this, but when Harry Kane broke through, you was almost expecting him to be like, well, his goal streak's going to end anytime soon now, or he won't do it next season. We've done it 2 seasons, he won't do it for 3. It kind of feels like he could do that because he's pretty much got everything to his game now. He even tried a mad long range effort, which wasn't very good, but after he had the confidence to do it, shows where his head's at the minute.
Yeah, he just I wouldn't want to put any kind of ceiling on his game because he's just every year he's got better. Like literally every year he's played at Everton, he's added something to his game and got better and better and better. And listen, we're not sitting here saying he's going to be the next Harry Kane because Kane at the moment is arguably the best. You know, you could make a case for him being the best footballer on the planet as things stand with the way he's playing. So, you know, it's not a slight to say he's not that level yet, but you know, certainly the early days of Harry Kane, as you said there, mate, when he was probably more about just scoring goals as opposed to his all-round game, which he's about now. There are some small similarities, and like I said, it's not a purple patch this now. We're not looking at it. It's not just these 9 games to start the season. We were saying, bloody hell, Dom's done well. He did well for long portions of last season in a team that wasn't really functioning at all. He had this little poor patch towards the end of last season, and everyone was sort of thinking. I remember after the Bournemouth game, people were saying, get Moise Keane in to start up front at the start of that next season, because you know he scored against Bournemouth on that last day, and Dom had struggled, and it was sort of, even then people were doubting him, but no, he's a goal machine, isn't he? He's a proper goal machine, and I was seeing some people saying, could he be as good as Rom and stuff like that? Obviously, very different players, but at the moment, he's got a nose for goal. He seems hungry for goals. I think.
For me, he's got the thing that Lukaku never had, which is the thing that frustrated me most. That willingness to just make that extra half a yard run, just to gamble on a ball going into the box. So Calvert-Lewin's very much like, he'll gamble on that ball coming in. Sometimes Ron was caught sort of flat-footed. His game was pick the ball up, run with it, score, hit a long range, something like that. I think Calvert-Lewin's more that 6-yard box player than Lukaku was.
Which is mad to say, isn't it? When you think
it is nuts.
A year ago, people would slate in this laugh for saying he's never going to be able to do that. People would say the reason he's not going to make it is because he doesn't score those little scrappy tap-ins, and now all he does is score scrappy tap-ins.
Well, that's it. So I think the he's had Graham Sharp comparisons, and obviously again, I don't want to get ahead of myself on this one, but you look at Sharp's progression through the team, it is kind of similar, where he sort of grew into the role. He just needs to start hitting 30-yard volleys at Anfield now, and then he's made. Yeah,
but there can't have been many Everton strikers that have had the start of the season like this.
No, I can't think of any.
Ever. Like, you know, even Rom at his best for us never hit the ground running like this. You know, 10 goals, and already he's played 9 games. It's crazy, and you know, this isn't a completely functional football team yet. But just on the hunger, I think when you're a young player and you're coming into the side and you're a striker, you can't really say, I'm going to just play between the width of the goalposts here, lads. You know, I'm the new kid on the block. I'm just going to stay in the middle of the goal. You feed me. Yeah. And it's sort of like now, because he's been at the club for so long, he's took his knocks. He's had to play right wing back. He's had to run into the channels. He's had to bring other people into the game. It's almost like he's been in this job for like 4 or 5 years, and he's like, well, no, actually, you're the one who's going to go and make the cups of tea now. I've done this. Yeah. I'm going to sit. I'm going to sit here and wait for it. And you know, now we can say, you guys feed me the ball, because he's probably one of our longest serving players now, isn't he?
Yeah, he's looking like a senior player now, isn't he?
Yeah, you know, he is a senior player, and he's playing like one. And I think in the past, I always looked at him and thought he loves the battle, and he loves to bring other people into the game, you know, and he loves putting the hard yards in, and he loves that adulation that you get from the Gladys Street when you charge a ball into the corner, the defender goes to clear it, and you block it, and it goes out for a goal kick or a throw, and everyone's like, yes, get in. We love a bit of that. And I think he fed off that for a while.
Yeah.
But now it's like, nah, goals are his currency now. That's what he feeds off. And it feels like that switch has changed in his head. So, yeah, absolutely delighted for him. And I think he's going to carry on. I think he can get even better.
Yeah, definitely. Just to segue into the final part of the show then. It's just a shame we're not in the ground to see it, isn't it?
I know.
But it'll change soon. Who knows?
I know. Yeah, so, it was 4,000 people, apparently, isn't it?
Yeah. Apparently, if you're in the lowest lockdown area, 4,000. I mean, I don't know how you'd allocate it. I said before they should handpick 4,000 people from the park end.
The top blues, the toppest
full Goodison Moaning experience.
The toppest blues it'll be.
Yeah.
Who's got the people who've got a plus in the Twitter name? They'll get
their first thing. Yeah, definitely. I don't know what I feel about it, to be honest. I think I've been in Goodison when there's been 8,000 in there or thereabouts. Bloody awful. It really is grim.
Do you know what? I'd want to go.
Yeah.
I think it's just been so long now, and now in some respects you sort of want your first game back to be full and like, you know, everyone there together in a great atmosphere. But I'm just sick of watching it on the telly. And you know, and I understand why some people wouldn't want to go, and the atmosphere would be a bit crap. I mean, it'd be interesting. People who are watching this, let us know what you want to do. Would you go to a Goodison Park that's a 10th full? But I don't know. I think it'll be quite interesting, and to see how the players react, to sort of hear what they're saying, to see how this team's shaping up, to watch James Rodriguez in the flesh and all these sorts of things. It'd just be nice. You know, I think we've all been pretty much housebound, haven't we? Haven't seen anyone. It'd just be a nice break for me. So as much as it wouldn't be ideal, if someone said, you know, Everton phoned up and said you're one of the lucky ones that have been picked for this game, there's absolutely no way I'd say, nah, I'm staying at home.
Well, yeah, I suppose having not left this postcode for God knows how long, when we did that footy focus thing, it was just nice being at the ground, wasn't it?
Yeah.
It was just nice going to the ground and being there. So I suppose if it's a match day, I just don't know how they'll allocate it though. So my situation is there's 4 of us go, me, Dad and the kids. I get 2 season tickets, my dad gets 2 season tickets. Now, whether it would end up that my dad and Joe go, or me and Jay go, because they're the season tickets we get, or if we could actually all go together, I don't know. But I wouldn't like to split us up. I don't know how they'd work it.
I imagine they do it on like house homes and stuff, wouldn't they? Because like, you're in a bubble with the lads, wouldn't you? I'd imagine. Yeah. So I'm sure you'd be able to sit together if you'd all.
Yeah.
But I mean, I don't want to, disclose all your personal details here, but I don't know if like your addresses are the same on the season ticket.
Yeah, you all go the same house and that. So I suppose you would want to put them together, I guess.
Yeah, and just tell us what that address and postcode is, mate. Yeah.
Just look for the feral trolleys, mate. Just a line of trolleys and they get you there.
Yeah, but I'd just like to be back. I think like when we spoke about this, going back towards, when did we lock down? March, and like it got to like May, and we were all saying, I wouldn't want to go back to Goodison again unless it was full. That was 6 months ago now. Like, and I think since then it's sort of been like, just gradually thought, just get me back. I don't care if it's a 10th full. I just want to be back in my seat, shouting abuse at Gylfi Sigurdsson.
What game do you reckon you'd get? Who have we got left?
So the derby's gone. We've still got a lot of big teams to play at home. Still got Arsenal, City, Chelsea, Spurs, Leicester, Wolves as well. God, we've got a lot of hard games.
Actually, yeah. Fulham home banker. Fulham at home. Absolute home banker.
Yeah, but I don't know. I'd want to go. You can't turn down the chance to see James Rodriguez in the flesh, mate. Come on.
No, you can't. Actually, you can't. It would be a beautiful sight, wouldn't it?
Yeah, I seen Amazon Prime put a picture up yesterday. The last time James was at Craven Cottage, and like there's just like he's just mobbed by Columbia fans. I was like, that'll be me when we get back to Goodison. Now, just running on the pitch and giving him a hug. Like never ever leave us, mate.
Yeah, there'll just be a queue.
Yeah,
we're only here to see him.
Yeah. Oh, we have to socially distance, wouldn't we? Good. Yeah.
Oh, we'll have to see how that one plays out anyway.
I know, yeah.
The headline is the Toffees have won. They've ended that 3-game defeat run. And we're 4 points off the top. So we can't complain, can we?
Yeah, it's good. It's good, yeah. We've had I think that win on Sunday makes it a good start to the season again.
Yeah.
And I think like Rob Vieira, bless him, was doing one of his excellent Twitter threads earlier today, and I totally agreed with everything you were saying in regards to, it's easy to fix defensive issues than it is to find a way of scoring goals. And Everton will score goals, I think, in whatever game they play. If they've got those 3 forwards on the pitch, it's just about finding that right configuration in midfield and in defence. And if they do that, then I think they'll be absolutely fine. They're better than the vast majority of teams in this league anyway. Yeah,
that's a very good shout. And all you got to do is beat, get the better of 14 other teams, 15 other teams. But no, 14, 13 other teams, and you're right up there, aren't you? So into Leeds next week, we'll preview that on what's the score. When is it? It's R5, isn't it?
It's on Saturday.
Saturday R5.
Oh, I think. So we've got Sue Smith coming on Thursday for that.
Oh, brilliant.
Obviously, former Leeds player as well. So
yeah, look forward to that then. Job's good.
You got that?
Yeah, look out for that then on Thursday. We're doing that, yeah.
Yeah, I haven't told you this yet.
No, it's fine. I'm sound whenever, it's all right.
And just as well, obviously, we put this out as a podcast tonight. If you want to watch us, we're on YouTube. We're on YouTube doing this live, so you can interact, get your comments in, as a lot of people have done tonight. Just read out some of them before we wrap up today. David Snooker said, Calvert-Lewin 21 in 31 under Ancelotti for Dom. That's an incredible return if he continues.
Yeah.
Player one, I said, interesting what formation he goes with against Leeds, considering they're strong in midfield, 3-5-2 perhaps, so similar to the weekend. And Anne-Marie said, if they let one in, I want to go in regards to Goodison. And player one, I said, 100%, just want to get back. Walking up County Road, the smell of food and horse poo in the air, lovely.
I just want to go to Chongqing for chips and curry again. That's all I want.
Yeah, I'm sorry, it's probably still open now, mate. You can probably just nip down now and get some for your tea tonight.
I don't know if they'll let me through the tunnel. I don't know how it works. I don't even.
Roadblocks at the tunnel.
Big, couldn't it? Yeah, got your passport. Sorry, no. Got me one. That do, no.
Dear me.
Oh well, Leeds is going to be a very, very different test at the weekend.
Yes.
I'm a little bit terrified, but I'm looking forward to it all the same. So we'll preview that on Thursday. What else is coming up this week?
Monday shows on Blue Room Extra tonight. Dave, Ben, South American football expert Simon Edwards, and Connor O'Neill's on that. Subs weekly tomorrow. Me and the two Mikes so far, Mike the Asher and Mike Greenall. And then weekly on Wednesday is Jake Mills, Dave Downey, and Sarah Halpin. So loads coming up. Lovely stuff. Right, everyone have a good week. Enjoy the glow of that win, because it's nice now. It's all settled down and we're not stressed out. So enjoy the rest of the week.